Hey, what's up everybody? This is my dive the other day and it's actually a new spot. I hiked down the cliff, found an entry to the water, and I brought out my gun. This was an area that's not covered by the regulations, so I could use my spear gun. I've never jumped in the water on this side, so it was an experience for me, and I was a little bit worried because if you follow my videos, you know that I pretty much dive by myself. So I had no idea what the conditions were like, so I jumped in and just swam out. It was super clear. Looked like there was a lot of life in the water. And I noticed the current was a little bit stronger than it looked when I was on the surface, even though it was flat. But I figured, chancel. So this is my first drop of the day. I'm swimming a little bit out and I wanted to get acclimated, and there was a lot of life on the bottom. And I noticed this is a little bit deeper than the areas that I normally go when it was right off the shore, but it's still pretty shallow enough for me. So I made my drop, hit the bottom, was pretty relaxed, and I was trying to hide right behind these two boulders. So I got my handhold, looked out into the crack, and just chilled. There was a lot of life, a lot of yellow tangs. There's some moano there, a lot of baby uhu swimming back and forth, and there's some pualu swimming in. A couple king kole. I was kind of taking a look at that pualu. Then a nenui came in, and I was just kind of tripping with the amount of life. There's a big red uhu in the back, but wanted to leave the uhus alone. So I'm just chilling out. More goats came in, and then I took a shot on this pualu. Not a very good shot. I hit it mid-body. But first dive, new location, and I got a fish right off the bat. So I brought this guy up and was gonna dispatch it, and I was thinking like, wow, I'm like just literally like 5 minutes into the dive. So grab the fish here, get my knife out, and put it out of its misery. It wasn't a good shot. I kind of tore up the meat a little bit, but I had dinner. So I was thinking, as I was just floating on the surface, it's like, okay, now what? I'm pretty much at my one fish per dive. Sometimes I'll shoot two, but I figured, new location, I'll just take this one fish. That'll be enough for dinner, and I'm just gonna go exploring. We ended up filleting this fish up and frying it up for dinner. We had that with some chicken thighs and some vegetables. There it is, and you can see how I tore it up. So I put it back on my line and continued on to explore. So I swam out a little bit more, and I noticed, boy, there are these piles of yellow tangs. They're all over the place. So this is looks like a little ledge. So there you can see my pualu on my line. So I dove down, trying to get to the bottom, landed right on the ledge and looked out just to get some photos of this yellow tang school. This was further out, and it was kind of interesting that it's further out and the fish are smaller. But you can see a lot of baby uhus, the yellow tangs, one lone kole. So I was just trying to explore and get some footage. I looked out and to this ledge, and you can see how it extends out. So I'm kind of wondering what caused this. It looks like it was a lava flow that broke off. and formed those boulders there. So I made it to the surface and swam on. After breathing up, came onto this other area. It's about the same depth, maybe a little bit deeper. Made my drop. And I was actually looking for this Roy, but as you can see from the descent, I didn't come straight down. So I ended up right where the Roy was, and so I scared it off. But I just wanted to show you here the life. So I crawled on the bottom. You can see again more yellow tangs there, but you can see the fish piles in the distance. There's one far past this coral head. You can see some big oohs swimming in the distance. There's some wahonui coming in. So there's a lot of life. I'm kind of glad that I went out to this new area. But one thing I did notice is the current was really pushing me south. So it was a little bit sketchy, but I figured I'm pretty safe. Keep going on. So I decided to start swimming in because I got pushed really far south. So I swam into the shallows and I made a drop right here. Tried to stay a little bit more vertical, so this drop was pretty good. I ended up exactly where I wanted to be, right between these two rocks. So I got my handhold. You can see two small moana kali come in. There's some uhu in the distance. And I was just chilling, just looking out, just aiming with no intention of shooting. There were a bunch of munu to my right. Again, the moana kali just stayed there, and the goats started coming in, the uhus started coming in, and it was pretty amazing. There's just a lot of life here. And this is really shallow. You can kind of see the cliff in the distance. So I think if I had my 3-prong, I think I could have actually hit something here. The king coles were right on my right, and I just swam up. So now I decided it's time to kind of find my entry point. There were a lot of these little aha or needlefish swimming on the surface. They were all over the place. So I started swimming back north, and since I'm really not familiar with this area, it was kind of good that I put my dive bag up so I could see a little blue dot, but I didn't see the blue dot. So I just swam north, making drops along the way. There was this little outcropping, this little pinnacle, which you see I'm dropping right alongside of. And it was just so much fun to make these drops and to practice. Nice to have a gun again, even though I'm no longer shooting. A lot of small munus. Right here, it's like, as I got more relaxed, everything was super close. I mean, these fish are right up against my mask. So you see the king coles, and there were kind of some pretty big ones. You see a veke school in the distance. Again, there were yellow tang all over the place. When you're relaxed, the fish are relaxed. I guess they kind of read my mind and knew that I wasn't going to shoot them, so they came really close. There's that little pinnacle that I was talking about that I dropped alongside of. And it's time to head back in. But this is my last drop of the day. And there were these small moo to my left. So I made the drop. There's that pinnacle. Hit the bottom. And there they are. Just wanted to get them on film for you. They were way too small to shoot. They just trip me out how they just like hover in the water. And they're always kind of just out of range of the gun. In this case, I got kind of close enough that I probably could have taken a shot, and I would have if they were bigger, but they were just small. And you can see those two monocali just kept following me around. Well, I have a new spot to dive. It was a lot of fun. I got a fish for dinner. I made it home safe because I found my way out. It was a really great day. Thanks for watching, and aloha.